Well, tonight in the podcast, ladies and gentlemen, the brothers and sisters in Chicago has had enough, and they're continuing to put pressure on Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson. Now, the group is called Chicago Red. They all got together because they're sick and tired of the Democrats, and they are pushing the Republican Party. Now, we know Chicago has been a deep blue city for a very, very long time, but the migrant crisis has started to change that. So I want you to check out what the brothers and sisters said to Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, the one who's just basically turned his back on the black community.
Good afternoon.
I want to know, how does it feel that Trump is in office right now? You see that? Okay. You see that, Mayor Brandon Johnson? You underestimate us. You underestimate the black people, and you underestimate Chicago Red. We're the thorn in your side, and we're going to be the thorn on everybody else in this council member side, too. If you don't stop what you're doing, we're going to take matters in our own hand, and we're going to stop it. You know that Trump had pulled 45% of the voter in the state of Illinois, 37 in the city of Chicago? That's the statistic. That means that Illinois is turning purple. We're going to turn red.
Y'all can bird dog me all y'all want, but if it's relationship over duty, then y'all don't serve the blue. And you can smirk all you want.
Mr. Sims, direct your attention towards me, please.
You a criminal. Why do I got to address you? The feds need to address you. DOJ need to address you, and hopefully Donald Trump will address you. Because you're going to protect the undocumented. Why you going to allow for the citizens in Chicago to suffer under your, 33%? See, Joe Lopez cooked that 3% up a long time ago. Y'all called it a circuit breaker. Y'all been talked about it. Remember, before you came in here and gave that jovial speech, you need to be inspected. You and that creep over there.
Acting like, you just gonna bully everybody. You got people, officers whose families don't even want you to come to the funeral. You just like a schoolyard bully. That at some point, and you might not know nothing about it because you grew up in Elgin, but those of us who grew up on the south side and west side of Chicago, we all know that at some point that bully gets cornered in the alley and everybody come at him and he ain't gonna have nobody to help him. That's you. That's you. Keep thinking you ain't gonna abide by what the President of the United States said. Everybody know better than that. I see you, Anna Valencia, in your red. You know what it is. This is the second time you showed up in City Council in red. You know what it is? Yeah. Yeah. So you and the rest of them that know what time it is, y'all come on. You leave that loser where he is. He's a loser. He's a loser. No, me and Zoe, we ain't doing nothing for nobody except for ourselves. We got you, loser.
14% rating is what you appear to have, Brandon Johnson, across the United States, or how they see you. But 14% rating. Now, I'm going to talk about all those known donations of $11.5 million that came from places like the CTU, the SEIU, the American Federation of Teachers, Illinois Federation of Teachers, and then someone got the nerve to get on there and talk about cutting the pensions. What about our real estate? Because, see, we paid for these properties for a purpose and not for you to go touching it with $300 million that you want to siphon out of the citizens' pockets. Get rid of the illegals, and that'll take your money right back. Start it off with that.
Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson recently submitted a budget, and this budget increased property taxes and other fees throughout the city. And the residents were very upset about that because they're like, why in the world do we have to pay more money because of these migrants that y'all allowing to be here in this city? Y'all don't want to keep Chicago a sanctuary city. Why should we have to pay for it? It needs to come out of your back pocket, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson, not the people that didn't ask for any of that. But the way it is, and this is what people need to understand. If you vote for the Democrat Party, that's what you're going to get, okay? You got J.B. Pritzker up there. He's up here saying that he's going to stand in the way of Trump getting the migrants out of the state of Illinois, right? Talking about, oh, they got to come through him, like who he's supposed to be, right? And I hope they put criminal charges on these governors or mayors that try to stop ICE from doing their job, because these people don't belong here, right? We have enough issues and problems in America, but definitely issues and problems in Chicago. They have brothers and sisters who's homeless, brothers and sisters that need jobs, and they being here is taking up jobs, it's taking up resources, and they need to go back to their homeland and work on their own issues and problems over there. You can't just be no economic migrants, and that's who they are. They're economic migrants. They're not fleeing a war. There's no war in Venezuela, or that's where a lot of them are coming from. There's no war in Venezuela where they could, no, And if you seek asylum, you're supposed to seek asylum on the countries closest to you. Not pass up all those Latin American countries to say, I want to be up here in the United States of America. No, that's not the way it works. Because if it was up to me, I say deport them all, because they should be going to the first country that's by their country, not the United States of America. The only person that can claim asylum here, only countries, would be Canada and Mexico. But if it's not Canada and Mexico, then no, not whatsoever. These people have been gaming the system, and the Democrat Party has been helping them to game the system. And this is why a lot of black Americans are saying, no and hell no, you're not going to sit up here and make us pay for these migrants. That's not right. This is why Trump got elected, because of the immigration deal. And people are expecting Trump on day one to start mass deportations. And you think those brothers and sisters in Chicago not down mass deportations? That's why you even got brothers and sisters on X talking about, hey, man, this is the number to ICE. Look, let me tell you something. If ICE would start giving out rewards, say, hey, if you turn so many of them in, we'll give you a reward, man. Please, everybody be calling ICE and saying something nice. Say, hey, they over there. You know what I'm saying? And once again, I'm going to repeat this again. CNN and MSNBC and all those other ones, they're going to be trying to say, oh, look, this is horrible. He's breaking up families. But like Tom Homan said, when he was a police officer and he had to arrest somebody, arrest a father for doing wrong, that was separated him from his family. Everybody in jail right now is separated from their family. How many dudes in jail right now got kids, got girlfriend, well, had girlfriends, or wife, or mama, or somebody, right? And yet they're separated. Thanksgiving next week. There's a lot of brothers that's locked down right now that's going to be separated from their family on Thanksgiving. They're going to have to be having Thanksgiving, whatever kind of meal they're going to have, in prison. So if we got people separated from their families right here in the United States that's in prison, then surely everybody else, but Tom Homan said he's not going to separate them. He said they can go together. And hey, I said, hey, I like that. They can go together. You can't come to another country, do whatever the hell you want to do. That's just not the way that works. You have to follow the laws of that particular country. And if you have to enter a certain way, like any country I've ever been to, I follow the laws of that country and get my visa or whatever else that I need. I can't break the laws. And you can't either. So, yes, it's time for them to go. Trust me, all y'all in Chicago, y'all need to be registered to vote and vote out Brandon Johnson, which I believe he's going to be voted out. I don't see nobody voting him back in. But y'all, you can't be just get rid of Brandon Johnson and put in another Democrat, because that's going to continue the problem. Y'all need to get not only Brandon Johnson out, but y'all need to get all the Democrats out of Chicago politics and try something different. And I really believe they will do that this time, but let's see what happens. Because I would hate for them to get rid of Brandon Johnson and put another Democrat in his place. No. God said, man, y'all about to have the same problem all over again. You could have just kept Brandon Johnson if that was the case. But Brandon Johnson is really messed up. He's really messed up. I would not want to be a mayor and everybody pissed off at me that much, because something that I can do to prevent these issues and problems. I'll let the voters sit up here and vote they want Sanctuary City or not. Get rid of Sanctuary City and say, hey, you ain't Sanctuary no more. Y'all got to go, because y'all draining our pockets. That's not going to work. How you going to come up here and live off of us? You don't even put into nothing in Chicago. But shout out to my brothers and sisters in Chicago. Like I said, I love Chicago. It's a great city. A lot of good black people up there in Chicago. Y'all keep standing on business in Chicago. You got to.